Francis Ngannou just caught a body, and Nate Diaz, my GOAT, just got slimed out by Mike Perry. Congratulations to Mike Perry. Congratulations to Francis Ngannou. But these fights were only going one way. Francis Ngannou just slimed out Felipe Lins. It was actually a little closer than I thought it would be, and it was still a brutal, mauling slime out. That shows the expectations for this fight. Francis Ngannou completely dominated Felipe Lins from start to finish in the first round. That's as long as the fight went. I'll just say in the fight, Francis Ngannou knocked down Felipe Lins early in the fight, or I believe he just rocked him. He rocked him multiple times. Felipe Lins tried to clinch up, but that's really all he could do. He tried to clinch up, but I don't really know if it mattered in the end. It really didn't. It was actually hard to watch. I'm sorry that I had to watch that fight a little bit, but Felipe Lins, after clinching up a couple times, he got knocked down by Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou got on top of him, threw some ground and pound shots, threw some elbows, but in the end, they stood back up, and Francis Ngannou put him out cold. Let's have a moment of silence for Felipe Lins. Thank you. All right. Moving on. Oh, and Francis Ngannou called out Jake Paul and John Jones in the ring. Two great call-outs. A lot of people who said Francis Ngannou fumbled his career after the UFC, they genuinely have to be insane. Since leaving the UFC, Francis Ngannou have gotten the biggest paydays of his life. I don't know. Yeah, I think the best thing to ever happen to him is to leave the UFC. And I know people are saying, oh, his legacy is ruined. But does that really matter? It's his legacy. That's not going to feed his kids. That's not going to make him rich. What makes him rich is doing what he's doing. He's probably made well over $100 million after leaving the UFC. And he's won most of his fights, in my opinion. So congratulations to Francis Ngannou. Then we also had this. John Jones was shocked watching Francis Ngannou knock out Felipe Lins. That's a scared man. That's a horrified man. He knows exactly what would happen to him if Francis Ngannou got in that ring with him. John Jones is fat, injured, and an unk now. Francis Ngannou is shredded, lean, better than ever, and would maul John Jones in that ring. YouTube, don't get me in trouble. He would maul John Jones in that ring. I think it would actually be painful to see that what would happen in that ring. That's all I'm going to say. And now it's time to cover the brutal slam out of Nate Diaz. I don't know how much of this I can show. I'll zoom out. But it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. Nate Diaz was busted up, bleeding. Mike Perry did what he did to his BKFC opponents with MMA gloves on this time. That was the only difference. I genuinely thought Nate Diaz was going to get slimed out, put out cold by the end of this round. He got knocked down with that knee. He was already busted up. His corner made the right decision to stop it. If they hadn't, I don't know what would have happened to 42-year-old Nate Diaz. He doesn't have it anymore. Plus, Mike Perry's on just about every single thing you could find supplementally, pharmaceutically, steroidally, whatever I mean, outside of the UFC. Maybe Nate is too, but he clearly did not get the same supplier as Mike Perry. Congratulations to Mike Perry. Nate, it might be time to hang it up. You know, we all appreciate you, Hunk, but man, brutal. And the rest of this card has been pretty good. I'll cover that all tomorrow, and I'll rewatch the Rousey fight when I wake up, but I just don't care enough to stay up to watch it. Okay, I lied. I ended up watching the Rousey fight. Don't mind the voice quality right now. I don't have my recording equipment available, but we should have known what was going to happen. Rousey came out with her tough cookie expression. She went over there, mean mug Gina Carano, took her down, armbarred her, first 10 seconds. You know what? I think it's time to put her above Amanda Nunes on the GOAT list, if we're being honest here. In all seriousness, what did we expect to happen? Gina Carano was just an attractive woman who ended up being okay at fighting regional scene cans, got slimed out by Cyborg in the first round. What was that, 15 years ago? Probably more. Was overweight last year and lost weight. Used this fight as motivation to get back in shape. And then we had Ronda Rousey acting like winning this fight would make her the undisputed women's GOAT again. This was kind of obvious, but still, I'm glad it was a good performance. And the rest of this card was good. Rebellis to Spain slimed out JDS. The guy, after that fight, had beef with Arman. The prelims were good. The guy who beat Mighty Mouse, I can't remember his name, but he held on to a choke too long, but got a crazy finish. probably would have lost that fight without holding on to the choke. I expect it to be overturned. If not, that's a travesty. But overall, a pretty good card. I don't regret watching it. The UFC card tonight was amazing as well, though. Us MMA fans are eating great. So I'm sorry for being a dirty stinking liar and saying I wasn't going to watch the main event. I did watch it. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out. I'll see you guys later. But tomorrow I will be releasing my full card reaction to this fight card and the Arnold Allen fight card. I'll actually be releasing the Arnold Allen fight card reaction later today. But man, these fights were pretty good. I'm not mad. Both fight cards. Us MMA fans are eating good tonight. All right. I'll see you guys later. Peace.